friends, welcome back to my channel, and this is the introductory video of inheritance biology. And in this video we'll see about what is genetics, what is character, gene, allele, phenotype, genotype, homozygous and heterozygous. So let's start. So what is genetics? Genetics is the study of genes with respect to inheritance and variations. Inheritance means transfer of characters from generation to generation. Transfer of characters from grandparents to parents to offspring. For example, if suppose all the family members of your family are tall, that means that is the character, the height, which is getting transferred generation after generation. And what do we mean by variations? For example, maybe most of the family members of your family are tall, but there are few members who are of short height. So that is known as variations that happens due to changes in genes. So in genetics, we study the inheritance of genes, that what are the genes, what are the characters that are transferred generation after generation, what is the law behind them and how they are transferred. And also we study about the variations, why one member differ from another or why one species differ from another. Now, who is known as the father of genetics? Gregor Mendel is known as father of genetics. He gave the basic law of genetics and he studied genetics on Pisum sativum, that is pea plant. He experimented on pea plant and hence gave the basic law of genetics depending upon the result he obtained. Now, Gregor Mendel selected pea plant. But why he selected pea plant? Because pea plant has varieties of distinctive characters. So a total of 7 characters a pea plant has that are quite different from one another. There are a huge variation among the characters. The second reason is the pea plant is easy to culture. Third, the pollination can be controlled. Fourth, there is a very high probability of successful germination in case of pea plant. Now, what are the characters Mendel chose for his study? The first character he chose for his study is seed color, that is yellow and green. Second character is seed shape, that is round or wrinkled. Next is flower color, purple and white. Please don't compare this flower with the actual pea flower. This is just the representation of a flower, not the actual pea flower, how it looks. Flower position, that is terminal and axial. Pod color, green and yellow. Pod shape, elongated and constricted. And plant height, that is tall and short. So these are the 7 characters the Mendel chose for his experiment or study, because there is a distinctive variation among these characters. So now these left side attributes are known as characters, that is color, seed color, shape, seed shape, pod shape, pod color, plant height, flower position. These are what? These are characters. So what are characters? These are attributes under investigation. Now on the right hand side, whatever we are seeing in case of color, yellow and green, in case of shape, round and wrinkled, in case of height, tall and short, these are known as the phenotype. So tall and short is the phenotype of the character height. So what is phenotype then? The expression of the character is known as phenotype. Now, what is gene? Gene means it is a factor which is responsible for a character, the height or the color of the seed. These are characters. Seed color is a character, plant height is a character. So for these characters, some factor is responsible. Why I am using the word factor? Because till now, the Mendel didn't know that the factor is actually a gene. He called gene as a factor. So what is gene? Gene is a factor which is responsible for a character, for example, height or color. That is the example. Capital T, small t, capital G, small g. Capital T and small t, these are the genes which are responsible for height. Capital G, small g are the genes that are responsible for color. Now, genes reside at different locus. We'll understand this when we will understand what do we mean by allele. Allele is an alternate form of a gene. Now, this is the structure of a homologous chromosome. Now, in this structure, if suppose here in this position, a gene is present which is responsible for a plant height. And here, exactly at the same position in homologous chromosome, if another form of gene is present which is also responsible for plant height. For example, capital T here and small t here. This is responsible for tall plant. This is responsible for short plant. But both are responsible for the character height. So these are known as the alleles, that is alternate form of a gene. This is also a gene for character. This is also a gene for the character. So both are the genes for a particular character. So hence these two are known as alleles. Then what is a gene? For example, here another gene is present which is responsible for this color, that is small g, here capital G. So T and this G, these are the factors that are present at different position. One is present here, another is present here below. But capital T and small t, they both are present at the same locus in homologous chromosome. Whereas capital T and capital G, these two are present at different location, which is known as locus. At different location, locus or position, that is known as gene. Therefore, capital T and small t are called alleles. Capital G and small g are called alleles, whereas capital T with respect to capital G or capital T with respect to small g, these are different genes. So what are genes? Hence it is written here reside at different location, because this capital T and this capital T is present at different position with respect to this capital G and small g. So genes are present at different location, but capital T and small t, these are the alternate forms of a gene. These are alleles and hence they are present at the same position in homologous chromosome. So alleles are present at same location. For example, capital T and small t. Now, what is genotype then? Genotype is the combination of alleles which is responsible for a character. That means what? For a character, definitely T is responsible, but T alone is not responsible. Always the genes are present in pairs. That means both the alleles are present together. So the combination of alleles. How many combinations we can make? Capital T, capital T, capital T, small t, small t, small t. These are the three types of combinations can be made. So these combinations of alleles, which is responsible for a character, which is height here, is known as genotype. Next is, then what is homozygous and heterozygous? Homozygous means when both the alleles are same. Capital T, small t, small t. This situation is known as homozygous situation. Heterozygous means when different alleles are present together. Capital T and small t. So this condition is known as heterozygous. Gene is a factor responsible for a character. All the genes will have an alternate form, that is minimum of two forms, which is known as alleles. Both the forms together, both the forms are known as alleles of each other or alleles of a gene. So gene responsible for character. Genes are always found in alternative forms of minimum two. It can be more than two. Multiple alleles condition we'll see later during the course of our learning. But for now, genes have two alleles. Both are present at same location. Genotype means all the combinations of alleles that are responsible for particular character. That is a genotype. It can be in homozygous condition if both the alleles are same, capital T, small t, small t, and also heterozygous if different alleles are present together. Now, one question from my end for you all. You are having a green color pea pod. Now, if you're having a green color pea pod, now tell me what is the character, phenotype, gene, alleles, and genotype for it. Do let me know in the comment section. If you found the video informative, please do like, share, and subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon for the next video notification. Till then, stay safe, stay happy.